We are bringing developing news in the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao. And joining us this afternoon, as always, our political philosopher, and Dalai Llamas, Mr. Ronald Llamas.
Good afternoon. Pag ganun yung mga introduction, speechless ka. No?
Apparently not. And of course, from the Philippine Star, we have our editor-in-chief, our very own, Ms. Ami Pamintuan.
Hi Ed, hi Ronald, hi everybody,
Ami.
happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It is a hump day today.
Malapit na ako na. Malapit na anniversary ng Philippine Star, Ami, di ba?
Ganun ba?
Oo nga. Next
So, may
week,
pap-
after the
Next
sauna.
week.
May papansit
After
ba yan?
the sauna.
Immediately after the sauna.
So,
Happy ba kayo ngayon? Walang fireworks walang fireworks sa Senado, yung inaasahan natin.
Parang ngayon ko
Yung
lang narinig
confrontation ng
nagsalita.
dalawa, wala.
Parang ngayon ko lang narinig nagsalita si Bongo.
Parang, suddenly,
Ikaw naman, dinifer nga yung mga komentaryo ng clarificatory question ng mga senador.
Hindi, ibig
Hinold,
sabihin,
di
the
ba?
past 2 weeks.
Hanggang
In
alas
3
7 lang sila kagabi.
in 3 weeks, ngayon lang siya nagsalita, di ba?
Oh, ayan. Dinidepensa niya yung ano siya yung that's a political issue sa Davao.
Alin daw?
Yung
Alin?
pagsapak na yan doon sa sheriff.
Yung pagsapak ng sheriff. This was 2011, if I remember right.
So, anong...
Ang context daw doon, sinasabi nila justified.
I'm sorry, Ami, what was that? The context was?
Yan ang sinasabi nila, nila Bongo, na justified daw yung pagsapak. Hindi naman sinasabi directly na justified, kundi ina-explain nila kung bakit nagalit si Sara sufficiently para sapakin si sheriff.
May context.
Ayan.
Parang grave threats.
Yun ang context
may
na ina-explain niya, oo.
May context.
Okay.
Conditional yon, conditional na pagsuntok.
Conditional din yan.
So, talaga, Mr. Ronald Llamas, ano naiisip mo?
Oo.
Ah,
Yung prosecution kasi masyadong
one-sided.
one-sided.
Ay, mukhang magre-rest na ng case ang prosecution, dyan sa article na yan.
Medyo bigla
Nag-move na
ako dun
kanina
sa,
si Jervil Luistro
Oo,
Kaya alam,
9
may
days na
conclusion daw siya na na-prove na nila yung case nila. Kaya hindi natuloy.
9 days na eh.
Oh, kaya nga.
So,
ewan
Ami,
ko.
Ami, ano yung mga tumatak sa'yo in today's impeachment trial?
Yun nga lang, yun ang inaabangan namin, yung confrontation ni Matibag sa ni Alan Peter Cayetano. Wala naman, hindi naman, no fireworks nga. Saka yun lang naalala ko kay Luistro, gusto na niyang they're ready to Yun ang pagkakaintindi ko, they're ready to rest the case dyan sa article of impeachment na yan. At pangatlo, meron pala silang timer na gumaganon pala yun,
May sound effects pa talaga eh.
Nagreklamo si Erwin Tulfo. Bakit daw kapag sila walang extension, bakit daw yung minority umaabot ng 10 minuto? Yan ang mga natatandaan ko dyan. Kasi yung iba, puro luma na eh. Ewan ko ikaw, baka gusto nyo maglagay din dyan ng Meron din
Yung-
dyan para sa atin.
Baka maglagay din tayo sa Storycon.
Oo nga, lagay din tayo.
Yung isang bagay amin na kinagulat ni Mr. Ronald Llamas ay ang pagbanggit ni Senator Judge Robin Padilla na yung prosecution ay one-sided.
Oo nga eh.
Ang galing ng kanyang very sharp yung kanyang observation.
Na hindi ko narinig Ewan ko kung naririnig nyo dyan sa
Ako narinig ko rin
Binu ba siya? He was complaining about it
Ay, hindi. But just a few sentences after that, hindi for that one-sided remark. Pero after a while, parang may nakabangga, parang may nag-react I suppose from the gallery, but I didn't see it.
Oo, meron ba? Hindi ko alam kung bakit siya nagreklamo.
I just heard that he was complaining to the presiding officer na please, this is an impeachment trial and people should be behaved.
Oo. Hindi ko alam kung anong ginawa ng crowd, yung gallery.
Hindi ko nakita
Anong ginawa? Bakit siya nagreklamo?
Anyway, let's try to bring in one of our reporters later dun sa impeachment trial. Baka makwentuhan tayo kung ano nangyari kanina, specifically dun sa kinagalit ni Senator Robin Padilla.
Oh, yeah. Saka may order si Cheese di ba? Wala pa. Wala pa
Go ahead,
yata
Abby.
yung reporter mo.
You were saying, Ami?
Oh. Wala yung... Sabi mo, tatanungin mo yung reporter eh.
Yeah. Let's ask later. We have a guest earlier before that. We will have in a little bit si Attorney Egon Cayosa from the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, dating Pangulo ng IBP, to give us his thoughts on the impeachment trial today and the impeachment trial so far. Going into day 9, no? Are we going to day 9? And of course, it is the last day of the impeachment trial for this week before we go into the SONA. So,
May isa pa, di ba? Isang araw pa for the article.
Which one? The Article 4?
Itong sa grave threat, di ba? May isa pa silang araw dapat. Ewan ko kung sasagarin
you mean
yun kasi
dapat.
mahaba-haba pa
Yeah.
yung listahan ng mga senador na magtatanong eh.
Yeah, but it all depends kasi on how many senator judges still want to interpolate the word for it, to ask questions or propound comments
Yeah.
to
Clarificatory
the
question.
counsels or to the witness. So that's going to be very flexible, I suppose. Again, they were given 11 days for Article 4.
11 days. 10, 11. So, meron pang 2 araw.
Yeah, but it being a Wednesday, thankfully, Thursday and Friday are not impeachment days, at least for this week. But for next week, just to review the impeachment trial dates, on Monday, of course, we will have SONA. So that's clearly not going to be an impeachment trial day.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I understand there's going to be a counter SONA of some sort, so that is also not an impeachment day. On Wednesday next week, impeachment begins at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Until 3.
So, So that should give
Until
the
3.
Senate some time to conduct its own affairs as a legislative chamber and not as an impeachment court.
Mahaba-haba yung oras ng working hours nila. Tingnan natin kung sino yung maka-perfect
Kung
attendance
sino
dyan.
tatagal o kung sino magdi-disappear after 3
Oo,
o'clock.
10 to ano yan eh. After the impeachment trial, legislation pa eh.
Mhm.
Yan ang titingnan
At
natin kung sinong magpe-perfect attendance.
At yung may mga gustong ipahiwatig, gustong ihirit na hindi pwede nila pinapayagang ihirit sa impeachment trial dahil walang kinalaman sa impeachment trial, ito na yung pagkakataon nila.
Ha? Meron bang ganun?
Sabi nila,
Hindi. Si Ronald yata binabantayan lahat ng komento ng mga senator. Ronald? Ano yung napansin mo ngayon? Hindi ko masyadong nasundan kasi nag-meeting kami.
Hindi, okay na ako doon sa very sharp statement, observation ni Robin Hood Padilla
Na one-sided yung prosecution.
na one-sided yung prosecution. That made my day.
actually, if I recall correctly, that was kasi during the time when Robin Padilla was trying to elicit an answer from the prosecution. Ang insist ni Robin Padilla, do you agree or not, or would you say that a witness who changes his statement is lying? Sabay nagsisinungaling. Si Jeremy Luis was trying to qualify because it's a hypothetical. So, nag-zoom in si Senator Robin ito sa kaso ni Las Cañas. Iba sinabi na Oktubre ng 2016, iba sinabi niya noong Pebrero ng 2017. I suppose ito yung nagbago yung sinabi niya noong Oktubre 2016 was parang walang DDS, walang death squad, pero nagbago eventually ang kanyang mga pahayag. So, Senator Robin was trying to elicit that kind of comment
Yun yung nature kasi ng whistleblowing eh. Na dati kang kasama sa isang grupo o isang sistema na dinedepensahan mo, pinapangatawanan mo, at eventually naging whistleblower ka, no, dahil sinabi mo yung mga nangyayari noon ay iba pala. No, ganun ang ibig sabihin ng whistleblower.
Possibly because you were under duress or for any other reason.
Oo. Or you found the light. No,
Nagka-epiphany.
Oo, nagkaroon ka ng road to Kairos.
Ayan,
Ika nga.
we're getting
Diba?
religious here.
Kaya ikaw ay ginagawang whistleblower.
Yeah,
No?
but
At pinoprotektahan yan. No, yung mga whistleblower na yan.
si Senator Robin is trying to be very particular na do you agree or not na itong ganitong gawain ay gawain ng mga sinungaling. So,
Ganyan. Kailangan mo na experience doon
non-experience.
na magsinungaling.
You somehow say that with a straight face, ha?
Pero nagugulat ako dito, Ami.
Beeper.
Dalawang araw na si Melvin Matibag. Ang dami mga tanong sa kanya nung panahon na wala naman siya.
Oo nga.
Di ba?
Oo nga.
Wala naman siya. Yung mga tanong, puro hindi niya panahon eh. Parang, what was that about? No. But hindi na lang nila kinuha si Kwan.
Si Jimmy Santiago.
Si former NBI director.
Oo nga
Dahil karamihan doon sa mga tanong nangyari during his watch. Di ba?
Oo nga.
Eh ngayon, pati
Saka siya
yung...
nagpa-imbestiga nun eh.
pati yung mga sinuntok na sheriff.
Oo.
Na pag-uusapan dito, tagal na lang.
Siya yung nagpa-imbestiga.
Oo. Kaya medyo weird lang. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na mali. Wala naman ako naisip pahiwatig.
Gano'n?
Parang kwan lang. Parang dalawang araw, yun ang pinag-uusapan sa isang testigo na wala naman doon. Noon nangyari yun. Parang yung nakaraan 2 linggo, no? In-interrogate mo yung 2 witness sa authenticity ng video na lahat tayo napanood.
Lahat tayo. Napanood uli natin kahapon.
Na may dagdag na
Baka
kopya.
mapanood uli natin yon sa Wednesday. Pag-wrap up.
Actually, that's something we can ask later si Attorney Igon Cayose. Whether itong pag-grill kay Melvin Matibag for the past 2 days, is it still, how material is it still to the charge of grave threats dun sa Article 4? I mean, how important is it to prove or not to prove na there was an actual conspiracy or an actual contracting? Hinihikap na si...
Yun nga tatanungin ko.
Yamas eh.
Kailangan ba sagarin niyang 10 to 11 days? Nagbigay sila ng
Hindi,
I don't think
calendar
so.
eh. They have to
Hindi.
strictly
Parang-
adhere to the... Kasi kapag natapos na, halimbawa yung prosecution, mukhang tapos na, ayaw na nila magtanong. Di ba pwedeng, medyo bilis-bilisan natin?
Oo nga eh. Ami, Ronald, si Marymon Reyes, ang ating mojo is on the line. Let's bring her in now. Marymon, can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear, Bok.
Marymon, ano nangyari kanina? Ba't parang nagalit si Senator Robin?
Well, kasi kanina, dapat talaga yung interjection na nitong Senator Judges ay pagtatanong na either dito kay NBI Director Melvin Matibag or kung meron silang points of clarification sa prosecution o kaya naman sa defense. Pero ang nangyari kanina is itong si Senator Robin Padilla, yung mga katanungan niya ay directed din dito kay lead prosecutor Congresswoman Jerby Luistro, and nagtatanong ano raw ba ang itatawag sa isang tao na pabago-bago ang storya o yung binabanggit na naratibo. Pero ang nire-refer nga lang dito ni Senator Robin is itong si Arturo Las Cañas, self-confessed na hitman ng Double Death Squad. And sinasayang flip-flopping daw tungkol sa extrajudicial killings, 3 raw na naratibo na ang nanggagaling dito. And paiba-iba raw. So dapat tama lang daw ba na tawagin itong nagsisinungaling o hindi raw mapagkakatiwalaan? Ang sinasagot naman dito ni Luistro, kailangan niya raw i-qualify yung kasagutan niya, pero pinipilit ni Senator Robin na yes or no lang daw ang sagot kasi simple lang naman daw yung katanungan niya. Pero itong si Presiding Officer, Senator Chief Escudero, nag-step in siya at nirephrase niya na lang yung tanong ni Senator Robin na can it be said daw that a witness who changes yung testimony niya across different dates and times cannot be relied on. Ang sinabi dito ni Congresswoman Luistro, nag-agree siya, pero further na such a witness may be lying in one account and telling the truth in the other with no way to tell which. So ang sinasabi ni Congresswoman Luistro, in general, ganito siya. So yun yung naging mainit-init kanina exchange ni na Senator Robin and Luistro. Bong.
Pero parang may nangyari sa gallery na uminit ang ulo ni Robin eh.
Kasi yung part na meron daw mga nagsasalita, nagkukomento-komentohan daw sa harapan niya. And kaya ang sinasabi niya sa presiding officer, paalalahanan daw na hindi raw pwede yun, na maingay daw ganyan. Kaya na-interrupt daw siya sa kanyang mga tinatanong sa floor.
Nasa gallery yung mga
Sinabi ni
nagsasalita.
Senator-
Sino kaya yun? Baka kilalang mga tao yun.
Tsaka anong sabi?
Plus may sinabi pa si Senator Robin na itong prosecution daw, dapat daw wag daw one-sided. Baga yung may
Yun.
pabor lang daw na pinipresenta daw. Bong.
natawa sila ulit, oh.
Hindi.
Kaya talaga,
hindi
Bias kayo
kilala
eh.
yung mga
Hindi, kaya
yung mga
nga,
nag-iingay.
one-sided din
Akala
kami.
namin meron mga nagbusa sa kanya or something. Kasi nag-order si na-order, di ba?
Oo, order
Si
the court.
presiding officer nag-order na magsitahimik nga raw sana.
Baka merong ngumiti.
oh. Do we know ano yung pinagsasabi ng mga nasa harap o likod ni Robin Padilla? Did we hear it by any chance?
Wala nang sinabi na banggit na info tungkol dun. Basta sabi ni Senator Robin, may mga nagkukomento raw sa harapan niya raw. Nung time na nagsasalita raw sila Luistro, kaya ipina-order naman ni Presiding Officer Escudero na again, tulad ng nasabi ng Surgeon at Arms, maintain dapat yung order at korte pa rin itong plenary call.
Ayun, na-derail ang kanyang train of thought.
Yeah.
Kanya mahirap yun. Maderail yung kanyang...
Okay. Meron what else can you tell us about what has happened so far dyan sa impeachment trial? At least yung the big basics.
Ang same pa rin yung pinakakatayuan na tinetestify ni Director Melvin Matibag na any threat laban sa matataas daw ng mga opisyal sa gobyerno, tinuturing itong banta sa national security and public safety. Plus, pagdating doon sa, nagkakaroon ulit ng point of clarification na naman sa affidavit ni Las Cañas. Pero nililinaw nila, and nililinaw din ito ni Presiding Officer Escudero, na part siya na sinasalang dito dahil naging part lang daw itong batayan ng NBI doon sa 5 factors para makonsider na actual, continuing at seryoso, may pattern of violence itong kanilang pinopoint out kay VP Sara Duterte. Plus, ang sabi pa kanina ni Matibag na yung mismo pag-amin din ni VP tungkol sa pagkipag-ugnayan dito sa supposed killer, ito na yung maaaring batayan talaga doon sa sinasabing betrayal of public trust. So, ngayon, ang nangyayari kasi, interjection from Senator Judges, yung mga point of clarification nila, and Senator Pia yung nakasalang, medyo natagalan lang kasi may kailangan lang i-flash na parang ipe-present, pero medyo natagalan lang sa technical staff. Bok.
Merimon, was there a time na yung mga issues ni Alan Peter last week against Melvin Matibag ay lumabas sa araw na ito? Yung issue na iniimbestigahan yung kanyang PISGOC NGO dun sa Southeast Asian Games na kinagalit niya ng husto na nilang magkapatid na ini-intimidate daw siya. Yan ba ay lumabas today sa last day ng trial this week?
Ronald, nagpaalala kasi si Presiding Officer sa Escudero na yung mga bagay-bagay na sasabihin directly dito sa Senator Judges na pwede magkaroon ng prejudice o maapektuhan itong sinasagot impeachment trial proceeding ay iwasan. So, kahapon and ngayon, wala pa tayong naririnig na may kinalaman dyan.
So, today, wala kang makikitang prejudice sa mga senador?
Wala pa. Ngayon pa lang kasi nag-iisa-isa itong Senator Judges. So, yun yung antabayanan natin. Pero ang malinaw, babantayan ng Presiding Officer kung may manifestations daw, tsaka raw titignan kung dapat bang pag-usapan niya ng malaliman dito sa impeachment trial court o tulad ng ginawa sa manifestation ni Senator Robin, si Senator Pia, Alan, referred na siya sa Senate Committee at pag-uusapan na lang sa plenaryo ngayong regular session.
Merimon, linawin ko lang. Nagre-request nga ba talaga si Senator Marcoleta sa Senate, not to the court, not to the judicial court, na makapag-participate?
Yan yung hinihingi kasi natin na kung may kasulatan man from Senator Marcoleta tungkol dyan. Pero hindi pa tayo nabibigyan kasi na kahit na information or copy from the Office of Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian or such. Pero ang malinaw, tulad ng na-raise din kanina ni Senator Robin Padilla, kung ang question nga raw dito yung sa integrity ng mga tumetestigo, paano naman daw yung Senator Judges currently na humaharap sa mga kaso na hindi raw maka-attend sa pagdinig. So parang ano daw ba yun? Pero hindi na masyadong umusad yung pagtatanong na yun ni Senator Padilla.
Okay. Meron teka, this is the last day, no, for this week? Am I
For
correct?
this week, Bok, yes. For
Okay.
this week.
Meron-
And then withdrawn yung subpoena doon sa ibang bank officials na isasalang din sana today para sa next article of impeachment. Pero it seems na next week na yan magpapatuloy.
Merimon, may indication ba na dito na magtatapos yung Article
Article
1,
4.
yung grave threats?
Article 4 yan.
Article
Article 4.
4. Hindi, ibig sabihin, yung first article na tinalakay,
Yung una.
dito na ba siya magtatapos sa araw na ito? Or magko-continue pa yan next week?
Ang sinabi kasi ng prosecution, si Director Matibag ang pinakahuli nilang ipapatawag na witness para dito sa unang article of impeachment na sinalang sa trial. Kaya ang schedule talaga, kung natapos kahapon si Director Matibag, ang isasala ngayon yung article of impeachment tungkol na sa alleged misuse of public funds. At ngayon sana ipapatawag na itong bank officials, bank branch managers, from the records ng House of Representatives, sila yung mga naka-line up. Pero yun na, withdrawn muna dahil may continuation itong cross-examination. Ang prosecution pala, hindi na sila nag-redirect examination kasi sufficient na raw yung naging testimonies ni Matibag. So, eto na, interjection na lang to ng Senator Judges. And the next week, proceed na sila sa next article of impeachment.
Okay, so they expect to close Article 4 today. Am I correct? We move on next week.
If matatapos nilabok si Director Matibag na today. Kasi ang target talaga noong una dapat kahapon sana kasi ngayon iba na yung nakaschedule pero that would still depend. Pero since wala nang redirect sa project so nabawasan na isang step, so far wala na tayo naririnig sa recross then on the side of the defense. Kaya kung sakali, pag natapos itong points of clarification ng Senator Judges, pwedeng tapos na ang unang article of impeachment. Bo.
And the next
Raymond, si
article...
Pia Cayetano, wala na ring mga parinig tungkol dun sa kapatid niya na iniimbestigahan, na binabawasan yata yung mga minority senators. Wala nang ganon na naririnig tayong comment ngayon.
Simula kanina, Ami, hanggang sa oras na to, wala pa tayong naririnig na ganyang komento or remark from Senator Pia Cayetano. Wala pa naman.
Marymon, on a different note, naramdaman mo ba yung dynamics sa ere between Senator Ping Lacson at Alan Peter Cayetano at Erwin Tulfo? Meron ba sila, may naobserbahan ka ba sa kanila?
Ang nasabi kanina umaga, nung nakapanayam natin na mabilis si Senator Erwin, actually, sabi niya, dapat daw balansehin ng impeachment court talaga yung pagpaprocess nila, pagbubusisi nila sa documentary evidence, sa testimony, sa witnesses. Kasi raw, nasasayang daw yung oras na kapag yung pagtatanong sana ng Senator Judges sa prosecution at sa defense, nauuwi daw sa law 101 o yung pangangaral. So, yun yung isang sinabi ni Senator Erwin. Kanina naman, so far, wala naman tayo nakita pa na, yung kung may exchange between these two senators. Pero nagkaroon lang ng paglilinaw si Senator Ping Lacson tungkol sa supposed perjury case against NBI officers na hindi naman daw siya yon. Doon nabanggit kasi siya kanina sa presentation ng ebidensya ng defense. So far, yun pa lang yung nakikita natin. Wala pa tayong naririnig talagang ibang matters na binabanggit ng senador outside the impeachment trial.
Yung Blue Ribbon na i-schedule daw next week, tuloy na ba yon?
Sabi din dyan ni Senator Erwin, hindi naman daw sila umaatras, hindi raw umuurong, hindi raw natatakot ang Blue Ribbon na ipagpatuloy yung ginagawa nitong investigasyon sa flood control project. Ang problema lang daw talaga ngayon, kailangan makumpleto yung miyembro ng komite. Kaya ang ini-expect niya, after daw ng SONA ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, ngayong paparating na Lunes, makumpleto na raw para makarolyo na yung bola, makapaggawa na ulit sila ng kanilang mga pagdinig.
Pero hindi ba sabi, lahat magiging member ng Blue Ribbon? Yun yung original na announcement nila.
Tama. Pero ang sinabi rin kanina ni Senator Erwin, para wala pa raw nabibigay raw sa kanyang pangalan. Kaya yun yung wino-work up pa nitong ni Senator Tulfo pagdating dyan sa Blue Ribbon. Pero ang malinaw, hindi raw sila umuurong, hindi raw sila umaatras pagdating dyan. Ang isa na nga lang aantabayanan natin kung magkakaroon ng pag-iimbita ulit dito sa alleged flood control kickbacks bagmen, pati dito kay former Congressman Mike Defensor na pare-parehong may binatong alegasyon nung nandito sila sa Senado pero hindi sila pumunta sa hearing o yung sa meeting pala ng Blue Ribbon na pinangungunahan ni Senator Tulfo kundi umakyat sila sa opisina ni Senator Robin Padilla.
Okay, Marymon, last question lang siguro. So on Monday, of course, it's SONA Day, Monday next week. And then on Tuesday, wala pa rin impeachment trial, no?
Walang impeachment trial.
Tuesday,
ang mangyayari kasi kontra SONA siya ng minority.
Yeah.
So traditionally, obserbahan daw talaga yon. Kaya Monday, SONA, Tuesday kontra SONA, pareho walang impeachment trial. Wednesday, continuation ng trial pero iba na ang schedule, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. na siya. 4 p.m. regular session na sa plenaryo. So ito na yung schedule starting next week onwards hanggang matapos ang trial.
Okay, Wednesday na ang impeachment. Okay. Okay. Meron pa, mga Bok?
Yeah.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Marymon Reyes, reporting to us live from the Senate.
Thanks, Marymon.
Thank you, Marymon. At this point, we bring in former IBP President or the former President of the Integrated Party of the Philippines, Domingo Igon Cayosa. Magandang hapon po, Attorney Cayosa, and welcome back to Storycon.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Attorney.
Magandang hapon sa lahat na
Yes, sir.
nakikinig.
Sir, thank you for joining us.
Nanonood sa
Attorney.
inyong program.
Thank you po for joining us. Sir, about sa testimony ni Melvin Matibag for the past 2 days, they've been grilling him about yung kung totoo ba, natuloy ba, yung allegedly pagkontrata ng mamamatay, somebody who will kill the president. I'd like to ask you lang, how relevant or how important is it to prove that or to not prove that for Article 4 to move forward? I mean, how critical is that question? Ito pinag-aaway nila ngayon na meron ba talaga nakuha na
How
na killer o
relevant
wala?
is that to the article?
But it's not relevant, it's not important. Because kung ang charge is great threats, you don't need to actually contract somebody to do it. When you utter the threat, that's already the crime. So, nagtataka tayo kung bakit umaabot sila dun sa paghahanap ng assassin at kung anong pangalan nung nakausap para patayin yung tatlo. So, siguro relevant lang yan to a degree para sabihin na seryoso itong threat.
Seryoso.
But it is not an element of the charge.
So we could have done away with these 2 days.
Tsaka, Attorney, bakit si Melvin Matibag? Nung nangyari yan, hindi pa siya yung NBI Director. Bakit hindi na lang si NBI Director Santiago na siya yung head ng NBI nung lahat ng yan ay nangyari?
Maganda. Well, that's a good question. But we have to remind ourselves na ang tinetestify ni Attorney Matibag hindi yung kanyang personal knowledge. It is the result of the investigation and the action by a government agency, yung NBI. So siya lang ang nagkukwento kung anong ginawa ng NBI at ano ang kanilang konklusyon at saan nagbase yon. So it is not really siya lang. This is, you have to understand, or the people have to understand, including the judges, nang tinetestify ko niya, yung resulta ng trabaho, hindi lamang siya, kundi napakarami pang ibang mga opisyal at ahente at tauhan ng NBI.
Pero bakit, Attorney, yung line of questioning ng defense kahapon, puro yung, do you have personal knowledge? Do you have personal knowledge? Puro ganun yung tanong.
But yun siguro yung, you have, we cannot blame them, but if you talk about the legal sense of the whole thing, hindi masyadong importante yun. Kasi nga, he is narrating what NBI as an agency has done based on his knowledge and records, of course, na nakikita niya bilang NBI director. Kasi siya yung pinakamataas eh. So, he fills the gap ng mga naunang dalawang testigo from NBI. So, yung mga ganun na pagtatanong na attacking the credibility, the accuracy, and the integrity of Attorney Matibag as a person, they cater to the public. Di ba? Yung mga common sense ng public, yung knee-jerk reaction nila, na karamihan ho naman sa publiko, hindi masyadong sanay sa pamamaraan ng ebidensya at mga testigo. Hindi naman sila abogado. So in a sense, yun. It's also an attempt siguro, not directly but impliedly, na meron siyang, hindi siya completely objective as an NBI head or director. But that misses the point. Yung resulta kasi, yung kinikwento niya, hindi lang siya yung hindi lang siya ang gumawa nun eh. That's the result of many other the efforts and contribution and the discussion between and among many other employees and officers of NBI.
It's the output of an agency or institution.
Attorney,
Oo, yung
I'm
institution.
presuming
Yun
na
yung essence ng kanyang...
I mean,
di ba siya di ba siya nag-freeze? Attorney.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Ann.
Okay. Attorney.
Yeah, I can
Attorney,
hear you.
I'm presuming you've monitored the proceedings no for the past ito na yung pang 9 days. Ano po yung masasabi niyo? Kasi it's not really a criminal prosecution, it's an impeachment trial. And the charge against the Vice President is betrayal of public trust. Hindi naman siya ikukulong for grave threat, kundi fitness for public office. Anong tingin niyo sa direksyon ng trial at this point?
Well, after 9 days, alam na ng mga senator judges at ng lahat na hindi naman to criminal case at napuna na sila, and I think they are reacting to that, na yung mga naunang mga araw, they were too technical, procedural, at ginagawang parang proof beyond reasonable doubt at criminal case ito. So I think now naliliwanagan na, and they are reacting or trying to improve what they're doing because people, those who are in the know, and mga ordinaryong taong bayan, ay nakakahalata na sila. So they already know that, so that there should be no excuse for them to keep on doing what they have been doing. Unfortunately, nakita natin, meron talagang makukulit. Yung iba, nagdidiskurso yan. Yung iba, nagbabasa. Yung iba, nagle-lecture. Yung iba, of course, they lawyer for either side. So mukhang karamihan naman medyo kinatemper na nila. They're now more time conscious sa kanilang But meron talagang pasaway o talagang siguro gusto nilang magpasikat, mag-grandstand o ipakita yung kanilang loyalty o yung kagalingan nila. Kaya hindi sila mapigilan. So we hope that the Senate, the presiding officer will take better control as we go on. They can still...
Attorney, may mga
At this point,
legal observers na nagsasabi ay na-over-judicialize daw yung proseso sa trial court. Meron din namang ilan na nagsasabi masyado naman daw na-over-politicize. From your vantage point, anong tingin nyo dito sa mga observations na ito?
But I think both are valid. Kaya lang nagiging too technical or too judicialized, whatever term you would use, or too procedural, o kaya too political. Kasi nga, yung mga obviously na may sinusulong na sariling agenda o kaya may kinikilingan, doon sila pumupunta eh. Hindi so if everybody should be at the middle, then wala sana yung over-judicialized, over-technical, at saka dun sa too political naman. Because they're either catering to the public, yung kanilang political base siguro, or their political masters, at yung iba naman, para masyadong technical, para hindi maintindihan, o kaya malihis, o kaya ma-misinform yung nanonood. So, nangyayari lang yan, hindi naman ho sa lahat ng mga senator judges, pero dun sa mga obvious na mukhang may sariling agenda.
actually, sir, I suppose, my question is, did it really have to take 9 days to figure out if somebody uttered the words that she did, and number two, if that constitutes betrayal of the public trust? I mean, did it really have to take 9 days to do that? Nine trial days,
Well, in hindsight, hindi dapat. But as we've been saying all along, medyo nagkulang kasi sila sa pre-trial eh. Parang marking of exhibits lang, identification of witnesses. Dapat dun kasi sa pre-trial, sineryoso yan, para may mga admissions, stipulations, or even modes of discovery. Para hindi na masyadong nag-aawayan yung pare-pareho na namang ebidensya na gagamitin nila. At para sana, ang focus na lang dyan, yung mga small to interconnect whatever the testimonies and the documentary evidence that they may have. So medyo nalihis tayo doon, no? At yung humahaba din ho ito dahil nga may mga pinapasok na mga issues ibang agenda na wala namang kinalaman sa impeachment. Mahaba din ito kasi pretty obvious, merong mga gustong mag-lecture, magbasikat, merong gustong magbasa lang, nag-prepared speech, meron din naman yung nagtatanong na wala na sa lugar, hindi siya nakikinig o kaya hindi nag-homework. At yung iba naman, talagang pinipilit yung gusto nilang technicality o kaya yung the politics of it. So these are all the factors na at in hindsight, Pwede Santo, 3 days tapos na eh.
Oo. Attorney, after 9 days, sa tingin nyo, na-establish ba na merong grave threat na ginawa? At pangalawa, na-establish ba na kung merong grave threat, is it an impeachable offense?
But it is pretty clear that the prosecution has established yung elements ng grave threat. So malinaw ho yun. Wala nang masyadong debate dyan. Ang pagdedebatehan na lang nila, does it arise to an impeachable offense?
Yes.
Yun lang ho sana eh. Yung ganun sana kasimple at least itong aspeto nito. Pero kung saan-saan pumunta eh. Plus, in hindsight din, dahil sa katatanong ng mga kung sino-sinong gustong maging magsalita o magtanong, kung ikaw siguro yung defense, parang yung hindi nakakatulong sa iyo eh. Kasi lawyers, kung competent yung mga nagtestigo, the less questions, the better. Saka mo na lang i-point out yung gaps dun sa iyong memorandum o kaya bring out your own evidence. Pero ang nangyari kasi dahil tanong ng tanong at competent naman yung mga witnesses, maraming hindi nila pwedeng sabihin sana as a direct testimony, talagang kinargahan nila. Pati yung mga hindi related na nakakatulong dun sa kanilang main testimony na hindi na ilabas naman, tuloy lumabas. So of course, nakita rin natin the gallant effort of the professional lawyers to try to chip away from the credibility, integrity, and accuracy of that witnesses and the testimonies. Ginawa naman nila yon to a certain extent. Pero sa tingin ko, in totality, mas hindi nakakatulong yung mga napakaraming tanong kasi nabigyan ng pagkakataon ang mga prosecution witnesses na maglagay pa ng mga detalye. Pati nga mga opinion nila, pati nga yung ibang mga bagay na hindi nila pwedeng banggitin sana kasi not material or relevant pero makakatulong dun sa kanilang theory na banggit nila tuloy kasi tanong sila ng tanong.
Personal opinion nyo lang, attorney. Dahil dati kayong presidente ng IBP. Yung ugali ni Vice President Duterte, pinapakita dyan eh. Impeachable ba yung ginawa niya sa tingin nyo? If I may ask, baka ayaw nyo magbigay ng opinion.
Well, the Constitution is clear. The oath of office of the Vice President is clear. Just like any other government official, you belong to executive branch, and as a high government official, you're supposed to uphold the Constitution, obey the laws, and enforce the laws. So it is not only as a lawyer, but more so because you're the Vice President, you're not supposed to be doing these things. So ngayon, kung maipapakita na that was willful, maaring it is betrayal. Hindi ho ito yung trust rating, hindi naman ito yung popularity ng yung betrayal of public trust. Ito yung binetray mo yung iyong sinumpaang role as a high government official. So when you do a wrong, even if assuming there was an earlier wrong, you cannot right a wrong by another wrong. So ganun ho yung, and then whatever the circumstances are, kung agrabyado ka, mainit ang ulo mo, galit ka, inapi yung tauhan mo, inabuso ka, kung ano-ano man yan, you always uphold the rule of law. You don't go beyond the law, you don't take the law into your own hands, and much less should you be committing crimes. Lalong-lalo na, mataas yung iyong posisyon and more is expected from the higher your position is, the higher your power is, more is expected of you.
Attorney, anong inyong fearless forecast dito sa mga parating na 3 pang articles of impeachment? How do you think will the prosecution and the defense adjust or re-strategize dito sa mga parating na ito? Tingin nyo ba ay magbabago sila ng kanilang conduct based dito sa unang article na ito sa grave threats? Or will they continue the way they have been doing it these past 3 weeks?
Well, I think both should
Nag-freeze.
sa
Nag-freeze yata siya.
Sir, I think we're losing you.
at damdamin
Yeah.
ng taong bayan dito sa graft and corruption. Kasi ito yung demonyong bumaba mainit
Nagchachapi siya.
ang bayan. So, I have to take it.
Pwedeng ikaw muna.
Pag-
Para sayang ang mga
Nagchachapi
sinabi.
siya.
mga comment.
Okay. Sir, if you don't mind, we'll bring you back. We'll just try to get a
Yeah.
better connection kasi we can't understand you anymore. Do we need to take a break first? Okay, let's go back to the... I'm sorry, I think the impeachment court already concluded, at least for today. So,
Yeah,
so that's
tapos sila.
the conclusion for the entire week of the impeachment court. Okay, we'll try to get a better line with Egon Cayosa, the former president of the IBP. You are watching Storycon on One News. We will just take a break. We'll be right back.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao, and of course with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Star, and Raul Llamas, our resident Dalai Llamas. And of course, still with us is, I think he's still with us. Yeah. Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Attorney Egon Cayosa, former president of the IBP. Natatawa si Attorney Cayosa sa atin. Sir, I'm sorry. We lost you kanina because the line got choppy. But could you repeat what you were saying before we got cut?
Where we cut.
That's a good question.
Yung tanong ni,
Hindi
ni Ronald.
Yung tanong mo.
Nakalimutan ko na. Basta.
Tanong mo, Ronald.
Nakalimutan ko na nga eh. Parang fearless forecast,
Ayun.
attorney, no?
There you go.
Going into the 3 other articles of impeachment. Ano nakikita niyong pwedeng gawing adjustment nung prosecution at saka yung defense? Lalo na, binanatan ni Robin Hood Padilla yung prosecution na one-sided daw.
Well, talaga namang one-sided prosecution. One-sided din yung defense, you know. Pag two-sided ka na dyan, conflict of interest ka ng abogado.
Balimbing na yan, sir.
They have to promote the... Anyway, let's go to the... as I was saying, necessarily, they'll have to adjust dito sa mga susunod na charges. Why? Because it involves corruption. Basically, they are issues of corruption. And yung corruption is the devil, demonyo ng ating lipunan, ng ating gobyerno yan. Yan ang pinakamainit na issue sa atin ngayon. Yan, pera ng bayan. Hindi na lang yung personal na kalagayan ng presidente, ng kanyang pamilya dito, pera talaga ng bayan. At itong issue na ito sa Vice President, hindi mag-iisa ito. Ang dami pang mga ibang issue ng corruption. So, yung mga taong bayan, galit na siguro dyan. That's our assumption. So, kinakailangan mas maingat sila. So, now, the other one is, you have to talk about figures already. Kasi these are accumulation of figures over the years. So, they have to be able to simplify and present why these figures coming from government sources would nail down the respondent. Doon naman sa depensa, of course, they will still try, as they have tried quite well, their attempt to block the subpoena. So the fact that there was a subpoena does not necessarily mean that all of these documents will be admissible in evidence. So I think they will still try to block those subpoena documents and records when they are presented in court as being irrelevant, immaterial, or violative of the rights of the respondent. Sa tingin ko, gagawin pa rin nila yan. But at the same time also, they will, and I suppose, by now, they should already have a good explanation for all of these figures. Because ito, dokumento na mga numero na, black and white na yan. So kinakailangan, may malinaw din silang mga explanation para sa mga discrepancies kung meron man.
Dagdag dyan, attorney, no? Dahil napakahalaga nung usapin last Monday dito sa impeachment court. Doon sa usapin ng pag-lift ng bank secrecy laws at saka pagsubpina ng mga bank accounts. No? Anong observation nyo doon sa exchanges dyan sa last Monday na yan? Parang parang classic Parang classic exchanges between subpoena at saka warrant, fishing expedition, the fruit of the poison tree. Parang in one day, maraming mga issues yung pinagkasya diyan, no? From your experience, hindi lang as IBP president, as a lawyer, anong takeaway nyo dun sa Monday session na yan na mukhang very important in the scheme of things?
I think commendation is due to both the counsel for the prosecution and counsel for the defense. Kalmado sila, maginoo, very straightforward, and they came prepared with citations. Of course, each side would only cite those things that are favorable to them. Kaya maganda nga na nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ng nag-argue sila para ma-clarify ng magkabilang panig. So, yung mga detalye, the nuances of the law and the jurisprudence, nailabas nito. So, that's one very positive factor. No? But yung mga tanong din ng mga ibang mga senator judges ay it only exposed their personality or their limitations. Kasi sana kung quest ka in the traditional, in the ideal setting, the judge should be more learned than either party.
Yeah.
The judge should be more prepared. He should do more research than either party. Because otherwise, kung magdedepende ka lang sa sinasabi ng magkabilang panig, pwede ring maililihis ka o kaya maniniwala ka sa half-truths o kaya misperceptions or misquotations. So medyo nagkulang yung iba ng kanilang homework. They understand this is not really their forte, that they have stuff to do the homework for them sana. So that's the second thing that we've seen. And then the third thing about this issue about the subpoena, yung iba, at least the majority, I think, alam na nila yung decision nila . Kasi nga, nag-submit naman ng memorandum yung magkabilang panig na mas mahaba kesa dun sa, mas detalyado kesa dun sa 10 minutes na binigay sa magkabilang panig plus yung kanilang argumentation. So, and I think they've done their job so much so that at the very first day, alam na nila yung decision nila . Kaya nga nung nagdesisyon sila, pinagbigyan lang yung mga kasamahan nila, mag-argue, magpasikat, o kaya to clarify or to make a point. Pero nung nag-rule yung presiding officer, obviously, pinag-aralan na nila. Meron na silang desisyon. So I think that is also commendable na hindi lang nagdidesisyon right at that very moment, because that would be very dangerous, that would be reckless, that would be lazy. So mukhang pinag-isipan naman nila, and I suppose that was already discussed in the caucus, yung mga pinayagan nila magtanong, and that's for the benefit of the gallery. And also, siguro, para lang ipakita ng mga senador judges saan sila nanggagaling.
Sir, what about the Las Cañas affidavit that apparently, as it turns out, is not notarized? How much weight should that be given?
But inamin naman nung, it was already put in context by the NBI director. Parang open source. So, ibig sabihin, kahit saan yan, kahit nga tissue paper lang yan, kung sa tingin nila panipaniwala o kaya pwedeng tignan, relevant, pwede nilang tignan. So, it's not a document to prove anything. As a matter of fact, it does not have much relation to this charge, to this particular charge. But binabanggit lang yon na sinasabi, isa ito sa mga pinanggalingan ng mga pinagbasehan namin kung bakit kami naniniwala that there's an active, serious, ongoing threat sa presidente. So yun lang naman yun. So whether it is notarized or not, in the context that it was used, hindi naman masyadong troubling yun. It's also very clear, pinaliwanag naman nila at inadmit naman nung testigo na hindi naman namin itong ginagamit na ebidensya to prove yung krimen. Parang pinagbasihan lang nila. Ito lang yung mga maraming ibang mga dokumento and information that they put together to come up with a conclusion.
Attorney,
nabanggit niyo si presiding officer Kumustahin ko naman, ano yung assessment niyo sa considering the toxic atmosphere sa Senate and considering the circumstances kung bakit siya naging presiding officer, ano yung assessment niyo sa performance so far ni Chis Escudero?
Well, so far, okay naman. Nakakatulong na abogado siya, no? But it's not to say na dapat abogado. But this is not to say na mas magaling yung abogado kaysa hindi abogado. Hindi na po natin yan kasi medyo gas-gas na po na drama yung ganyan. So, ilinaw lang po natin. But it helps also for a practical reason kasi gamay niya. And I think he's also doing his homework. Mukhang inaaral niya bago pa dumating yung hearing mismo. So marami siyang alam at marami siyang mga he can rephrase for everyone para mas malinaw, para hindi tumatagal. So I think he's improving. Except that, of course, he cannot take away the politics from it. He's a member of a collegiate body. You need the support of everyone. So every now and then, pagbibigyan mo talaga yung inyong mga kasamahan. Diba? He doesn't want to be accused of being one-sided, though still he's being accused of being one-sided. So, mas kilala niya yung mga colleagues niya than us. So, siguro, mas natitimbang niya kung mas naiintindihan niya kung saan sila, anong agenda nila, saan sila nanggagaling. At malamang, off-camera, even before the session ng korte nila, nag-uusap naman mga ito.
Attorney, talking about the presiding judge, meron siyang ginawang desisyon nung first day ng impeachment trial. Sabi niya, ang 2/3 ay 16. At ang sabi niya, kung merong tutol dito, pumunta kayo sa Korte Suprema. Anong tingin niyo? How will this unfold? May mga senador ba na magpo-propose na ito ay pagbotauhan dito sa impeachment court? Or meron bang magsasampa sa Supreme Court para dahil justiciable na yung issue ay iwanan sa Supreme Court yung pagpapasya dito sa napakahalagang usapin ng 2/3?
As it is, and as he clarified, it is not really a decision of the Senate. Nabanggit niya ito dun sa opening statement niya, no? So I think that was a smart move. At napansin natin, hindi na umangal yung minority, di ba? Hindi na rin umangal yung majority. So let it be para hindi maantala at nagsisimula na. Because more important yung process ng hearing. Mas importante yan. Ngayon, At saka sa kanya, tentative yun. So, I think it has achieved its objective. And by its very nature, that's not a decision of the Senate. That's his opinion. That's his stand. So far, they haven't disputed it. But there is nothing to prevent the Senate by a majority vote later on in the, halimbawa, bago sila magbotohan, sasabihin nila, iba ang tingin ng majority. So, that's the time siguro na any aggrieved party can go to the Supreme Court because clearly the interpretation of all the members of the Senate belongs to the Supreme Court kasi constitutional interpretation yan. But I think tinatansya nila na if we allow the evidence to unfold and the process to unfold, baka nga hindi na masyadong pag-uusapan yung hatian kasi baka nga makakakumbinsi either way and you would not need yung slim slim difference. That it wouldn't matter whether 24-year or 21. Plus, there might be other developments as we go on, di ba? Kung talagang seryoso yung ombudsman, at alam naman natin marami pang mga napaparatangang mga senador, which is very unfortunate. We see a Senate na ang dami sa kanila napaparatangan na magnanakaw. E di baka kung magkaroon ng sapat na ebidensya, baka meron pang malalagas sa kanila. So we don't know. But I think that was a smart move at medyo na-sideline muna yan.
So sinasabi niyo, attorney, it was a very good tactical. It was a very good tactical move dahil para masimulan yung proseso ng impeachment na wala masyadong bangayan, ay parang itinabi muna yan. Nagbigay ng ruling yung presiding judge without prejudice na ito ay pwedeng questionin in the future. Diba? Yun ang sinasabi nyo. Para mag-proceed na yung trial dahil sabi nyo nga, ang mahalaga rito, lumabas yung mga ebidensya dito sa 4 na articles of impeachment.
Forthwith.
Oh, pero
Yes.
ang sinasabi niyo rin ba, attorney, ay kahit later on may magsampan nito sa Supreme Court, halimbawa, mag-decision yung majority na ang 2/3 ay 14 or 16 at may magsampa sa Supreme Court, it won't prevent them from voting to convict or not to convict kahit wala pang decision yung Supreme Court. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila hihintayin mag-decision yung Supreme Court.
Pwedeng hindi nila hintayin. This is their court. This is their case. Hindi naman to kaso ng Supreme Court. Ang akyat lang sa Supreme Court, anong interpretation ng all the members of the Senate? Kasi wala namang 16, walang nakalagay sa Constitution na 16 dapat yan. Ang nakalagay 2/3. Clearly, it is a relative term. Yes, of all the members. Anong ibig sabihin ng all the members?
All.
So, ngayon, at saka ito, not only tactical move, Ronald, meron din kasing meron ding basehan kasi hindi pa natin alam kung papayagan ng Sandigan Bayan yung bail petition ng dalawa, di ba? Hindi rin natin alam, baka tuwing bukas si Senator Bato at magpakabayani siya, di ba? We don't know. Or so all of this.
I doubt that.
So, yung decision kung ilan ba yan, at the end of the day, gagawin nila yan pag magbobotohan na sila.
Uy, Ami.
Natawa si Ami sa magpapakabayani.
Pagbobotohan ba yan? Paano pag pinagbotohan ng Senate and it goes to the Supreme Court, sina-challenge yung vote ng Senate, and this is an impeachment trial.
They can
Sa tingin
proceed.
nyo, a-action ang Supreme Court? Nagboto ang Senate eh.
Well, kasi assuming we're not saying it will go this way. For example, the majority would say, hindi, dapat ang threshold natin 2/3 of whoever remains of Senate. Yung hindi. And who participated as a judge. Kasi that's one key element of due process. Diba? Pinagdidiinan nila yung due process kung ano-anong mga life, liberty, and property. Hindi naman property yung position di ba? Hindi naman. Anyway, so due process pagdating sa hukom, is that hindi pwedeng ma-consider o bumoto o mag-desisyon yung pwes na hindi naman nag-participate. Basic yan. Whether it is sa barangay, sa basketball, o kahit saan, pag yung referee wala dyan, hindi nag-participate, hindi siya pwedeng makialam. So, due process yan. So, pwede nilang pagdesisyonan yan later, o ganito lang, kung sino nag-participate, then they convict or they acquit, or whatever it will be, then whoever will be aggrieved, whether the prosecution or the defense, pwedeng tatakbo Supreme Court, paki-interpret nga yung all members of the Senate. Ngayon,
Yeah.
kung ang interpretation ng Supreme Court, hindi, dapat 16 pa rin yan, then they'll have a problem. We'll have a constitutional
Yeah.
crisis.
Pero sir,
Oo nga.
how likely is it for the Supreme Court to actually
Step in.
possibly overturn? Kasi, for example, nagbotohan sila, tapos sasabihin ng presiding officer, we have so many votes, therefore, the respondent is convicted or acquitted.
Oh.
And then somebody brings it up to the Supreme Court. And how likely is it the Supreme Court will say, no, your conviction is unconstitutional?
Well,
It is an impeachment
they
court.
cannot, well, of course, they can. That's their job. They cannot say, ayaw namin. But, sa totoo lang, pwede rin in many other cases, even if
Nag-freeze ulit.
dinelay it. Kaya, sabihin, nagdesisyon na kayo, natapos na yan. So they can always make excuses not to meddle into it. Pwede rin naman that they assert their authority as the final interpreter of the Constitution or what the law means. So it can go either way, no? But then they run the risk, depende nga, kaya nga maganda na lumabas muna lahat ng ebidensya na magkabilang panig. By that time, magko-consolidate, magje-gel na ang tingin ng taong bayan. Eh. So, though the Supreme Court is not like the Senate Impeachment Court na merong halong politika, nakikita rin natin na yung Supreme Court na tinitimbang din nila saan ang lagay nila. So, we don't know. Every now and then, we're surprised by the Supreme Court, but this is our system.
Yes, sir.
We have to go by it.
Okay. We'd like to say
Attorney.
thank you. Pabol.
Nag-chat-chat siya. Pahabol lang. Kailangan bang tapusin ng prosecution lahat ng articles of impeachment? Paano pag naramdaman nila na malakas na kaso namin tama na kami sa 3 lang. 2 or 3. Pwede bang tigilan na nila? Can they rest
Pwede.
their case?
Yes,
Pwede.
they have to. The proper term is not resting your case because their
Yeah.
case is apat yung charges, di ba?
Yeah,
The
apat.
proper term is they will withdraw the other charges. They can
Throw.
withdraw the other charges.
Withdraw. Pwede
Yeah,
pala.
hindi na
Okay.
Kasi
We'd
sabi
like to
nila
say-
malakas tong sa wealth case
Yeah, I think that's
Ah.
mas madaling, mas solid sa tingin ko kasi figures dokumento na ito.
Yeah.
Mathematics na lang ho yan, calculator, percentages, or plus, minus. These are all documents. Hindi na pwedeng mga intention na kung ano-ano pa.
Yeah.
For context
Wala
or
context.
justifications. Okay. Okay, maraming
Okay.
salamat for talking to us, former IBB President, Attorney Egon Cayosa. Thank you, sir.
Salamat, attorney.
And
Thank
before we
you,
continue our
Attorney.
discussion, we will see more headlines this midweek Wednesday, July 22. VP Sara Duterte once again topped Pulse Asia's presidential preference survey for the 2028 elections. Duterte got 49% support, while former VP, now Naga City Mayor Leni Robredo ranked second with 26%. In the vice presidential race, Senator Bongo led the field with 27% support, ahead of Senator Robin Padilla's 21%. Padilla, however, topped the survey for the 2028 senatorial race with a 48.4% support, followed by Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto at 47.9%. The survey had 2,400 respondents and was conducted between June 28 and July 3. And another survey, this time conducted by Okta Research. A majority of Filipinos, or 64%, believe the Philippines should somewhat or strongly distrust China. The figure rose from 55% in March 2026. Only 15% of the respondents said the Philippines should trust Beijing, while 21% were undecided. Okta Research says The findings suggest more Filipinos are taking a firmer and increasingly distrustful view of China amid heightened public attention on the West Philippine Sea. Senator Ping Lacson says his team has documented at least 2 alleged ghost infrastructure projects in Taguig City. Lacson says the case studies involve numerous slope protection and drainage projects worth a total of around 2 billion pesos. These were supposedly part of Senator Alan Peter Cayetano's 6.79 billion pesos in insertions in the 2025 General Appropriations Act. Earlier this week, Lacson said he was gathering conclusive evidence that could put Cayetano, and we quote, in his proper place at the new Quezon City Jail in Payatas. Senator Rodante Marcoleta pled not guilty to plunder and charges of violating Presidential Decree No. 46 before the Sandigan Bayan's 3rd Division. His co-accused, businessman Joseph Espiritu and former Congressman Mike Defensor, also entered similar pleas to the same charges. The case stems from allegations that Marcoleta received 75 billion pesos in undeclared campaign contributions while serving as an active party list lawmaker. Marcoleta has been detained at the QC jail since his arrest on July 6. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio paid a courtesy call on President Marcos Jr. at Malacanang this afternoon. The high-level bilateral talks focused on strengthening Philippines and U.S. economic ties, regional security, and defense cooperation. Rubio is in Manila until July 23 to attend the ASEAN Foreign Ministers Summit and related meetings. Tama ba na si Mr. Ral Llamas ay nasa survey results yan?
Hindi totoo yan.
Hindi nga. Parang may nagkwento.
Hindi pa ako nag-submit na gusto kong tumakbo for president.
Anong ranking? Saka anong survey yun?
Pinag-iisipan ko pa
Direk, pakitanong niya kay Jan Acosta. Anong survey yun at anong ranking? Baka naman...
0.0. Mas mababa lang siyang
Pulse siya?
konti kay General Torre.
Nasa pulsation si Ron Llamas. Anong ranking niya? Number 351?
Hindi ko alam. Sasama daw siya ni Paul Seyche. Di ba?
Talo ko ni
Diego, sabi
Jess
ng
Passes.
tukayo niya. Sasama siya.
Teka, ano nga ranking? Sabi mo, nasa alam ni Passes, si Jess Passes ba? Number 2 o number 200?
196. Yung mga kalokohan.
Nakipagkita rin si President Marcos sa foreign ministers ng Japan and Australia.
Oo. At saka,
kasama din
pinatawag niya, di ba? Ami, pinatawag niya yung Chinese ambassador kahapon. Dahil
Hindi siya pinatawag
pinatawag din yung Philippine ambassador.
ng ganyan is the foreign secretary.
Oo nga.
Madalas
Pero
makipag-usap si Chinese ambassador kay
Pero ang
President
humarap-
Marcos.
ang humarap sa
Nag-attend
BBM.
pa nga yan ng family gathering ng Marcoses. So, inimbita siya before the ayungin. Pero siguradong pinag-usapan yung nangyari sa ayungin. Siguradong pinag-usapan yan. Pero kung magpoprotesta tayo, it has to be the foreign secretary who summons the ambassador. Hindi ko
Teka,
alam kung
hinahanap
pinatawag
yung,
na ni
Ronald
Teresa
Llamas
Lazaro
Paul
si
Seyche.
ambassador
Pero
para magreklamo formally.
Ba't lumabat sa
Dapat
mga
meron
balita?
tayong formal.
Ba't lumabas sa mga balita, pinatawag ng Malacanang ang Chinese ambassador? Ba't ganun yung lumalabas
Hindi,
sa mga
nakita
balita?
sila. Hindi. Meron
Tapos
silang
merong-
dati ng imbitasyon before the ayungin show. Pero
tapos-
pinag-usapan yan. Dahil may condemnation may condemnation si President Marcos of the incident, hindi ba?
Tapos may
At pinag-usapan
paliwanag yung
din siya.
Chinese ambassador na meron daw secret agreement with the DFA.
Oo nga, yun
na
ang bine-verify namin ngayon.
na dapat hihingi ng permiso
Pinapa-verify.
bago mag-resupply. No? At magtayo ng construction dun sa BRP Sierra Madre. Kaya daw lumapit yung Chinese Coast Guard para
At
i-check
kinuna ng
kung merong...
picture.
Oo. Pero kung totoong merong ganun, binabiolate nun yung UNCLOS decision na binibigyan tayo ng
Yes.
ng power sa ating EEZ at yung freedom of navigation, walang pakialam doon ang any foreign power. So, medyo delicate yun kung totoo yung sinabi ng
Kaya nga.
Chinese Embassy na meron silang kasunduan with the Department of Foreign Affairs. Dapat, kung
Yes.
meron mang kasunduan, ang term of reference noon ay yung UNCLOS arbitral ruling.
Yes.
You were
Hinihintay
referring to
natin
the,
yung official reaction dyan ng DFA.
Pero
Kung
dati pa
totoo
yan, di ba, Ami? Dati pang tinatanong yan, ayaw magbigay ng sagot ng DFA.
Yeah.
Kung maalala mo.
Oo nga,
You were
kaya nga
referring to
sabi
the
ko,
provisional
kung
agreement
hindi
now.
totoo yan, meron na tayong solid no, no? Nagsabi na kagad yan na no, walang ganyan.
Tama.
Kung hindi siya totoo. Hinihintay natin ngayon, kanina pa namin hinihintay, nagpapatanong, I'm sure lahat ng media organization, tinatanong yung DFA ngayon.
Well, Ami, we were talking kanina with Defense Secretary Gilbert Chodoro. We asked about
Yeah.
that specifically.
Oo.
Yung supposed provisional agreement between the Philippines and China as of July 2024.
Yes. Anong sabi ni
Yeah.
Secretary
Ang
Chodoro?
unang
Ano
bungad
sabi
ni
niya?
Secretary Chodoro is walang ganyang agreement. Medyo
Nagtaas ng boses.
intense yung ano niya.
Oo.
Pero later medyo nag-qualify siya ng konti na wala kaming kinalaman diyan.
Sa DND, yes, exactly.
Oo.
Magkaiba yun,
Sa
ha?
DND,
magkaiba.
hindi
Walang-
nakatimbre.
So medyo
Walang
may
ganyang
qualifier
agreement,
yun.
tapos yung wala kaming kinalaman. Magkaiba yun.
Oo nga.
And
Kaya nga. Exactly.
tapos parang if I remember correctly, parang pagkakasabi niya is that kasi we ask is there in that supposed agreement is there any requirement that we have to seek permission or clear
Oo.
any road trips going to Ayungin Shoal? Sabi niya nothing that he is aware of, nothing that he knows of. If at all daw
Yeah.
coordination, if at all. Pero walang any sort of permission seeking.
Oo. Pero why is it taking too long para sa DFA para sumagot ng yes or no? Di ba, Ami? Yes or no lang
Yeah.
naman yun eh.
Saka nagtatanungan tayo kahapon, di ba? Sabi ko, napakatagal na walang ganyang enkwentro around Ayungin eh. And remember, Ed, I think meron din tayong in-interview noon, tinanong natin. Kasi merong report na kapag magpapalaot ang mga barko natin, Coast Guard or Navy, mag-alert sila. Yung automatic ba sa ship, para ka ma-identify na eto, lalabas kami. Para siyang hindi siya formal na alert alert siya to everyone.
Parang
At malalaman na
EIS,
iba. Hindi ko alam kung
automatic
ano yung term na
identification
ginagamit.
system.
Maglalabas ka ng alert from your ship na eto, papalaot kami.
Well,
Kaya tinatanong, di ba, nagtatanong tayo nun, ano ba to? Hindi, para ba tong informal alert to the concerned parties
Oo.
na
Naalala-
merong boat from the Philippines going to Sierra Madre. Di ba wala tayong makuha rin noon at that point na sagot kahit kanino.
Naalala ko yan, Ami, parang short of
Yeah.
permission, parang i-announce natin sa lahat. At siguradong
alert
aabot
to
sa
the
China.
world.
Oo. Parang soft yan eh. Soft na provisional agreement. Di ba? Talagang...
Parang pasabi lang, di ba? Pasabi.
Oo.
Magpapalaot kami. We are sailing. Tapos, yun na lang. Bahala na. Kanya-kanya na reaction kung sino man yung
Parang
alert
timbre
na,
lang.
oops,
Hindi,
meron
parang
from the
ganyan.
Philippines
Oo,
going to
parang-
Sierra
parang-
Madre.
Para sa China, humihingi kayo ng permiso. Para sa atin, ini-inform natin lahat. No, parang gano'n.
Yeah. Pwedeng masahihin ng China na, ayan, humihingi silang permiso sa atin. Tayo sabihin natin, wala naman kami sinabi sa inyong pabayaan nyo nga kami. We are just telling the world, eto kami. Di ba,
Hindi,
may
pero-
parang gray zone, ano rin yan eh. Meron
Yes,
ding
pero-
gray zone information system.
Oo. Pero very concrete kasi yung salitang provisional agreement. Di ba? Yun yung tinatanong natin dati pa. Walang malinaw
Yeah.
na sagot doon. Hanggang ngayon.
at wala
Hanggang
pang lalabas.
Nga ngayon. Inulit
So,
nitong
yun.
baka medyo kumambyo mamaya embassy. Magaling mag-English siya mga yung team ngayon. baka i-reward din para gray zone din yung explanation. Maghihintay tayo.
Okay. Bok, ano ko lang, isingin ko lang to. In the latest Pulse Asia survey, July 2026, nationwide survey on the 2028 elections,
Ayaw talaga bitawan.
Rol Llamas ranks near the bottom of the list of 53 potential senatorial
53.
candidates.
Ano yung near the bottom? 50.
Sino,
53.
sino mga kasama ko sa bottom?
Okay.
Pang 53 siya.
Awareness is at 14% of respondents say they were aware of him. Bakit 14 lang?
Negative ba yun o positive yung awareness?
Bakit 14 lang? Voting
Below
preference, 1%
zero.
selected him as the preferred senatorial candidate.
Sino yung mga kasama ko?
Ano to, sinat GPT ko lang eh.
Okay. hindi yung
Hindi
pansensya.
hindi actual ano. Statistical rank is 42 to 53rd.
Ba?
Hindi
Mataas
naman,
na
hindi
yung
naman
42
sa
Hindi na ako,
bottom
hindi na ako
talaga.
tatakbong senador, tatakbo na lang akong presidente.
Baka mas
Okay ba yun?
mataas.
Okay ba yun?
42,
Baka mas mataas.
42, pwede na mag-blow out siya na lechon.
Ano ka mo? Sabi niya?
Pwede na magpaletsyon.
Pwede na mag-blow out na lechon kung 42.
Pwede ba ilagay sa kasulatan yan?
Nasa margin of error na ako.
Sa margin of error.
Speaking of
1%
lechon,
eh.
sabi nung kampo ni BP Sara, ha, dapat daw Senate ang magpakain dun sa defense team.
Oo nga.
Merong ganyang report. It's
Oh,
actually
hindi,
a
may
report.
letter. May letter siya kay Win Gatchalian. It was an
Kaya
official letter from the Vice President.
Oo nga. Kailangan daw. Ewan ko lang kung ano ang sagot ni Win Gatchalian. Ano naman, di ba, may common area dyan for food. Siguro everyone pwede share. Wag
Pero,
lang baka may magsapakan din doon, ha.
Pero usually kasi yan eh. Paano yan eh.
Basta cool lang, cool. Cool lang lahat.
Isang malaking kwan yan eh. Isang malaki na law firm yan eh. Fortune yan, di ba?
Oo.
Ayan.
Oo. So,
Yung defense.
Hindi yan,
Fortune Narbasa Salazar.
hindi yan mahirap.
Yeah.
Mga pangalan pa lang eh. Fortune Narbasa Salazar eh.
Di ba?
Oo.
Pero hindi ko nakita
kaya
si
bakit-
Fortune.
bakit gusto
Hindi ko
nila-
rin nakita si Narbasa. Ang nakita ko yung anak.
Oh, yung anak.
Di ba? Si Fortune, di rin umaharap, di ba? Ano ba sila? Doon sa pinakahuli? Doon ba sila sasalang?
That we don't know. Maybe. Kasi baka, di ba?
Ito muna yung mga sacrificial lamb, itong mga bata.
Sacrificial
Diba?
lamb.
Sa grave threat, hindi. Yung pinakamahirap si Michael Poe, eh. I think
Although
that's
yun
the
nga,
most
if you want-
difficult, yung wealth case, eh.
If you want the most immediate impact, and then the most relevant impact minsan kasi is ano eh,
The Monday. The Monday.
or the last few days
Yeah, yung
before the
Monday.
vote is ano.
yung Monday ang game changer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about yung kung kailan sasaling mga abogadong big shot eh. You can imagine that yung as a matter of strategy, gusto mong yung pinakamalaking impact mo just before you
Yung
cast the
huli.
vote.
Oo. Dahil baka di sa simula, baka makatay ka kagad.
Okay, baka makalimutan na.
Mademystify ka, di ba?
Oo.
Oo.
Diba? People, kasi
Pero yung
you're
mahirap
looking at
yung wealth,
7 months.
sinalang na si Shell Jokno, eh. Magaling siya, eh. Siya may hawak niyang napakahirap na na isyong
Oh,
yan.
yung kwan yun
Michelle
eh,
Jock.
yung pag-lift ng bank secrecy. Yun yung
Yeah.
pinaka importanteng desisyon short of the voting itself. To
Yeah.
convict
Yan
or to
pa tayo
acquit.
inihintay natin. Lahat ng tao yan ang inihintay. Eh.
Yes.
Yung wealth story. Kasi yun yung
Yes.
hindi pa natin alam yung detalye.
Oo. Bakit yung grave threats, alam mo na?
Hindi ko alam. Kailangan ko mapanood uli yung video para ako makumbinse na
Panood
nag-grave
ko ulit.
threat nga. Kailangan mapanood ko yung mga 5 times pa.
Masokista rin to si Ami. Okay, mag-goodbye na tayo. Baka mamay, playback nila ulit eh. Thank you for joining us today. Philippine Star Editor Ami Pamintuan and our resident Dalai Llamas, Mr. Ronald Llamas. I'm Ed Ligaw, kapatid. Your One News, your side all the time.
Yung mga pilot.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.